AskReddit by EEO. On the 1st of April everyone gets a text on their phone saying April Fools. Sorry about the beginning of the year, let's retry that, and we get sent back to the 1st of January 2020. What's the first thing humanity should do? Everything's just going to happen again, but with better memes. Wow man. People that don't have phones are gonna go crazy. Wait. If they didn't have a phone, would the person also go back or be stuck in a different timeline? I'm sorry, time travel is confusing. Produce a lot of disinfectant. Don't forget the toilet paper. Reply back, screw that. Nobody wants to relive that part of history. I'll give them a chance, a way to redemption. They'll be so pleased and relieved. I'm sure they will act soon. But at once in unison, as one day replied. Nobody wants to relive that history. Why, I thought they'd take the opportunity was a mystery. Fix the calendar and catch the hacker. You're right, I don't want to live the first 3 months of the year again. Fire the guy who keeps playing Plague Incorporated on the Area 51 computer. Edit. Thank you so much, you saw Enigma for my first gold, really appreciated, man. Maybe it's one of the idiots that got inside during the raid and was left behind, who found the computer and thinks he is playing Plague Incorporated. Forced study of pandemics. More than study, you'd start mass producing ventilators, you'd prep as many tests as you can as soon as humanly possible, and you'd start washing your hands now. Would slow this thing down a ton. Who's to say this hasn't already happened numerous times and we are now stuck in this loop? Deleted. Send the rains down to Australia. Yeah, almost immediately after the bushfires we got extreme flooding. We can't cop a break this year. Fires, floods, plagues. This feels like some biblical shit at this point. Contain virus in Wuhan itself. Just an interesting note, I heard on NPR an interview with an Italian doctor that said they were experiencing COVID-19 in November. They just didn't know what it was and thought it was extreme pneumonia. Break up with my fiancée sooner. At this point she was already cheating on me, I was just blind : Edit. Thanks to everyone to gave me anything, I'm mega drunk trying to drown my sorrows, you guys make it worth it. I will heal, I will be strong, I am hopeful. And mega drunk. The best bit about it is you no longer are with a cheating partner. Alone and possibly lonely for the time being is better than being with someone who doesn't respect your feelings and relationship. Which begone. Calls Kobe. Should we tell him to warn his pilot to take another route, or should we tell him to not go at all on that day? Giant orgy. Everyone back in the pile. Deleted. Everyone got the text, not just you, genius. Buy stock in a toilet paper company. That's genius, because once everyone knows what's going on they will stockpile toilet paper because people are idiots and will think they are genius for buying out the entire store before the shortage without knowing they are causing it. I may steal your idea. Buy all the toilet paper before March. Continue to not purchase soap. Uses a bidet shower. I don't know about humanity, but I would force my brother-in-law to go to the doctor and start taking blood thinners so that he would still be alive rather than dying from a blood clot. This was the most uncomfortable upvote I've given, but it's what I can do to show support. I hope it goes the very best it may, and that everything considered you, your sibling and you brother-in-law are doing the best you can. Quickly get Wuhan, China quarantined. Close all airports in China. Start making virus test kits for everyone that was supposed to leave. Wait a few weeks to see if the people quarantined develop anything. Get hospitals in Wuhan, China as soon as possible. Basically try to keep the virus from spreading. Deleted. Throw every scientist at the obvious case of both the possibility of rewinding time itself and the fact that there's most likely a higher being, clearly also not acting for the good of our species. Like anyone would give a fuck about COVID-19 at this point. We literally just got a confirmation that a god exists, and that we are most likely a plaything. We're in a simulation. Dump all my stock. It's simple. We kill the bat. If you're good at something, never do it for free. Become more self-sufficient. If all the masks are produced in the virus-infected nation, what are ya gonna do? Gotta make your own. Also take profit off all healthcare services. This should happen after the pandemic ends. We need to start production again in Western countries and stop relying on China that much. See my dad before he passed away. I'm sorry for your loss. May he rest in peace. Tell Kobe not to get in the helicopter. Think he would listen to some rando on the internet telling him to inconvenience himself? Or how would you convince him he was going to die without him sending you to police for death threats? I think the thing to be considered is if the people who have died within these 4 months can come back. The "ah shit, here we go again" meme will be everywhere. Start mandatory washing hands. You know how fancy places have bathroom attendants? Now every bathroom has a bathroom attendant, and they're carrying. Divest in all the oil companies so that the UAE can't short the stocks for profit when they tank the market. Wash their hands. Quarantine China, because the corona was there in December. It's been reported that Italy had it in November but didn't know it at the time. I think we should use knowledge about that virus and have more time to create vaccine before it gets serious. Have a month-long world lockdown and a shutdown of the market that caused COVID-19 plus negotiations between USA and Iran. The pandemic started in 2019, so we should fucking close the borders at least. Also buy toilet paper. You fools. At the 1st of January the pandemic was a few months in at China. So it would have been too late. Even with the reset. It was an epidemic then. We could keep it from being a pandemic. Buy a bunch of that sweet readily available toilet paper, bleach and chicken breast. Since time travel is so complex, I think actually the best path would be to make it as similar as possible to the first time around, but change what we will in order to survive better. We could however save a few people or something like that. Going into the stock market should be just as unpredictable, because people are doing it again, so that's not a good idea. We could start education on what to do and not do during a pandemic, orders, but the virus will probably pop up sometime in 2020 either way. We could get more people hired to hospitals and expand the amount of people that can be on life support, since we have time to prepare. Shut down Chinese wet markets. Burn them down. Sell stocks. Wash their hands.